YouTube, this is AZ3K GT, and I had one video already made up, but I wound up not liking it very much at all, so I'm gonna redo it. But unfortunately, a lot of the filming, because I made a couple of mistakes on it and stuff like that, redoing it. I did get the engine built. It's pretty much ready to go. I have it kind of on display at the moment, so I have parts on it that are unnecessary, and so. As soon as I can, I'm gonna try to get a clutch for it and then put the engine in the car. It should be ready to go. I just got the little adapter for the pressure switch. I somehow misplaced it and I lost the damn thing, so I had to buy another one, and it turned out it fit perfectly without ever actually seeing the thing. So I'm happy about that. I do have some video of the build, but not as much as I should. So at least of the top end build, me putting it together. So I'll add this to the video, and let's take a look at this thing already. So this is how it sits right now. Like I said, this right here is going to be the intake and stuff I use right now. For now, I'll plan on upgrading it eventually later, where I'm going to have basically the surge tank down in here, because shoulder runners generally are better for top end performance, and this is supposed to be a higher revving engine, so it really should have that more top end performance on it. Got my motor mounts all set up on it. It's ready to go in. It's at the oil pan. I got to flip this thing over and actually put the RTV on the oil pan and set the gasket right. This right here is a setup right here for the oil pressure and the oil sensor. Both brand new sensors and switches. There goes the other engine mount. I'm not going to run the top, so I left the little center divider right here out, and the other ones on the side, because there was no point. I wasn't going to run the top of the timing cover. Yeah, eventually I might get some clear ones on there, but a lot of people don't run the tops of them anyway. It's because it's above the dirt and stuff like that flying above from the ground. So I didn't worry about it too much. And I did some cleaning up, where I cleaned these up right here with a wire brush and a vise, so they look all nice and pretty now. The only thing I couldn't really get done right was the oil filter housing, but whatever, it's small potatoes. You're not really going to see that anyway unless you're under the car. So let me get you turned around. So now that we've showed you the engine, I'm going to go ahead and take you to the video where we actually build the head for it. Just so you know, the engine was built twice. One, to check for the piston and valve cleaners. I had to put Play-Doh on top of the pistons, turn the engine over with it basically in time, and see if the valves and the pistons were to connect with each other. And I could only make so much of a turn on the engine, because it's basically going to be a super interference engine. So if the engine's not perfectly in time, it will do significant damage to the engine. But with that being said, the pistons, when you put clay in there, it takes up all the room between the piston and the valves, and you can push it a little bit in, but eventually it does not. It basically locks up the engine. So whenever I did that and turned it over as far as I could, it showed that, yeah, but the valves are not anywhere near close to that piston, but it was like so hard to turn over, I guess. But either way, it turned out fine. But once then I took the engine apart again, put it back in time, and it spun over, and the engine turns over. It's a pretty tight engine. It's a brand new engine, so of course it's going to be at least somewhat tight. But engine spins over just fine, and it doesn't hit or anything like that. Trust me, if it was going to hit, it'll lock down the engine, because it has these big dome pistons in it. So if it was already interference motor at 10-to-1 compression, it most certainly is at 12.5 to 1, or closer to 13 to 1. So if it was going to hit, you'd know. Once it hit, it would total lock down the engine. You're going back to square one, brother. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take it to the head build, and hope you guys enjoy it. So it kind of sucked that I wound up making all that filming for a video that didn't wind up eventually just tossing. But the engine's ready to go in. I'm happy about that. Once I put it in, I'm basically leave the fuel pump off, not, you know, turn it off, and then spin it over to prime the engine. And after it gets a little bit of oil pressure, it should be good to go. And then do the first fire up on it. Then I'll have to take it to the tuning shop. Probably going to use Vivid Racing for it. Take it to the tuning shop and have them essentially break it in and set the tune on it. So, and see what kind of horsepower we get at the same time. Of course, we won't be able to beat on it till like 2,000 miles before you can actually get the tune. It'll be basically a base tune where it kind of runs okay, but not at the performance it could for 2,000 miles to get the break-in period done and change the oil on it. And should be good to go. So with that being said, if you guys like the content, please leave that like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.